What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Ark Survival Evolved. So today we're actually on top of the floating island, and the reason why you're probably wondering is because we are going to begin building our Coliseum. So you guys knew that on this floating island it was pretty much reserved to build this floating Coliseum, and I have been putting it off. I wanted to stream it, but at the same time, I would rather do it on YouTube because YouTube is obviously like my main spot for my social media postings. And recently, I haven't had really too much time to stream. My streaming schedule will start back up on Monday, same streaming schedule as it was in the beginning and pretty much throughout January. Just because my parents are here, I'd rather not stream 6 hours a day and just leave them sitting there to twiddle their thumbs while I'm streaming. So they'd still twiddle their thumbs while I'm recording, but that's unavoidable. So I pretty much just got enough to begin the lower part of the foundations of this said massive Coliseum that I'm building. We're going to drop all this heavy stuff in here. I'm going to keep the musket on me, but that's mainly just because it's actually, I got these glasses for a reason. Might as well use them, right? Here we go. Now he's handsome. Now he's handsome. Okay. Now we can see good. So the idea is to build this entire thing on pillars because this ground isn't that flat. And we're going to build it about 3 pillars high, I would say. Beginning right here, to be honest. This is a perfectly capable spot right here. And we're going to go 3 pillars high, and we're going to pretty much go really far that way. I don't think we're going to go any this way. And we're going to go into the water a little bit as well. Of course, we can do it this way, or we can build it with ceilings. These items are spawned in, so I don't care to do a ton of pillars. I'm just going to tell you that now. Disclaimer, these were spawned in. There's no way in hell I can craft the amount of items that it's going to actually take. And if I were to build it out of lumber with spawned in items, it would feel scummy because I would level up, and I'm not that high of a level right now, so I'm not going to do that. I would love to build it out of the new building materials, but that's just not quite possible. So yeah. Here we go on our building endeavor. I don't think this one's going to go out much farther. I don't know why it wants to snap there. All right, let's get some ceilings going. We're going to need to fly our bird for a lot of this. And the idea for the Coliseum is I pre-recorded, I recorded a little bit of this earlier, but I had to scrap it because I just rambled. But the idea for the Coliseum is to have fights where players on the server can wager items. They can wager their iron, they can wager their obsidian, they can wager guns, ammo, rock, stone, building materials. They can wager entire bases if they wanted to. I don't know how that would work because I don't know how to give a base to a person. Wager dinosaurs, so it'd be like, I want to wager my level 40 T-Rex for your level 40 T-Rex, and we're gonna fight via musket. And then from there, the arena will be built and set up with walls and the appropriate amount of items and the appropriate amount of seats for people to watch this said fight. And then from there, it gets crazy, it gets nuts. Everybody's fighting and everybody's betting on these fights. So there's going to be a betting bin where you can throw your stones in, and then say the fight's a low tier fight. We're not going to go into odds or anything like that, but you know what I mean. So that's the idea for this Coliseum. It's almost like a gladiatorial little fight. It's an entertainment thing. I would say these can happen whenever, but the idea is for obviously one of the creators to be on, or all of the creators to be on, because I wouldn't want to leave anybody out. I don't want to I don't know. Yeah, the idea is to have a creator to be watching the fight, to tell people when the fight is. Usually plan the fights 3 weeks in advance. It's going to turn into a whole almost UFC style of thing where it's oh my god, the champion Bob Saget's going up against the champion, I don't know who's typing in chat, the champion Sparks, and they're wagering their best Spino, or they're wagering 10 Species X seeds, or they're wagering their entire base, or you know what I mean? They're wagering their Quetzal, which is really hard to get, so we should definitely go watch this fight, and then those fights will be recorded or streamed or whatever we decide is the best bet for that. So that's the whole plan for the Coliseum. It's either going to be I gave some examples in the rambling part of this episode that I deleted, There's going to be times where you do sword and shield fights. There's going to be like, even at some point in time, if it gets popular enough, I can get developers to give game keys to winners versus like in-game items. So, or even like my sponsors and stuff. I've dropped some sponsors recently just due to lack of wanting to deal with them. But say I have an extra loot crate box or something and you're a winner, give me your address and we'll figure it out. I'll send you a loot crate. You know what I mean? Or if sponsors really want to get into it and like sponsor an entire fight, or it'd be really cool. It would just be a really cool thing to be able to like give items to you guys in real life as well for winning these said fights. So we'll have like a low tier fight thing where it's like your raptor has to be under level 10 to fight everybody else's raptor. We'll set up a bracket and we'll fight each other. It can get to a point where there's championships and trophies and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So that's the plan for this Coliseum. I'm just not sure how I'm going to build it. I might actually recruit help from... There was a tribe on the last server where it was just faster gather rates and everything. And they're really, really good at building this type of stuff. I wouldn't by no means mind trying to get one of them into our tribe temporarily. I'll give him whatever he wants and he'll build it. I think that would be really cool. If you're watching this episode, send me a tweet if you're one of the people that built that massive castle on the last server. That was nuts, and I would like for you to build. Right now, I'm just kind of working on the foundation of everything. I could separate the pillars more and everything, like I said, but clearly I'm already having issues with these damn pillars. And once I log off, don't bother even coming to these bins. I'm just going to throw everything on the ground, and it's going to disappear. So... But this island is still off limits for building. That's the idea. And the reason why it's just kind of a strategic advantageous kind of thing. It kind of ruins the map if everybody wants to build on one little area. And it kind of eliminates the purpose of having a big map in the first place. After this said purge weekend, I believe I'm going to be upping the gather rates and also upping the EXP speeds. So... if you're someone that's trying to get into the server, but at the same time just kind of is like, oh, I'm already falling behind, there's really no point. Well, this is kind of your time. Right after this Saturday, we're going to be upping the XP rates to we're probably going to do about 4 times everything, similar to how the last server was. Gather rates, taming rates, everything like that, just to make the game a little bit more fun as we kind of wind down off of the whole hype train that was Valhalla. Everybody's kind of sick. Well, not really sick of it. Everybody's used to it. That's a better term. I don't want to say sick of it because I'm still enjoying it. Everybody's kind of used to it now. They kind of know the map, and it's become kind of just a normal map for them, and it's not like this whole wow factor anymore. So to avoid the whole grindy little annoying feel that is the map right now just due to its size, we're probably going to go to the route of just making everything a little bit easier for everybody. That way people... either new people can come and play, and old people can come and play as well, and have fun and enjoy themselves. So after this Saturday, we're going to be upping the limits, or upping the rates. We actually might up the building limit as well. We have the uHost Pro guys on our side. They are the people that host this server. So they're pretty good about everything. I think I probably should stop placing this many pillars because it just takes longer. But I think I'll do rows of this many pillars. So we'll build out all the way to here, and then we'll do another row of pillars similar to that. Or just the outside will be that full pillarage. I kind of like the way it looks. That's why. It just kind of looks like a Coliseum built on stilts. And we could even do stuff like put walls down here. And these like, when you watch things like Gladiator, these like cages on either side and cool shit like that. So these will be actually, maybe you could wall these in, and these will be like hallways. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff we could do. This is going to be massive, massive build, so it's going to take a couple episodes. A lot of it's just going to be me talking to the camera, and by camera, I mean talking to you guys over the microphone. I love how honey doesn't go bad. It's so useful. Actually, more ceilings would be better. And you guys always know, I like mega builds. Mega builds are awesome. Just to build this foundation, though, is more of the boring part of mega build. I like the beginning and the end, the idea and the thought process. and then when it's finished. Those are my two favorite parts. The whole grindy part, like back when 7 Days to Die, that spider mega build. I know you guys probably weren't around during that. A lot of you weren't. But I did a spider mega build where I actually built pretty much a spider on top of a church, which is like a pre-generated church. And it took me a very long time. I bet if you just YouTube Partially Royal Alpha 1 7 Days to Die spider build or something like that, it should come up. Just do Partially Royal spider build and it will probably come up. But it was absolutely epic. Like, it just took me so long. That was all grinded straight out, like all the mega build stuff. The castle from the last server as well. I think it was Ritz's server. That was still Ritz's server at the time. That was all grinded out, that stone castle. But obviously that had faster gather rates, and we had the Dodicaruses were just introduced, so everybody had one at the time. And it made it so much easier because our Dodicarus had like almost 1,000% attack damage, and like it would hit a couple rocks and we would have enough stone for like 4 walls. So that was really easy actually to build that on the water castle, and you guys probably remember that as well. Here we go. Again, these pillars are just going to be for the outer edge. The pillars will be for the outer edge. I'd also not want to separate the pillars because people could put like T-Rexes underneath or like troll the entire thing. And it's funny because even if somebody destroys one of our walls, there's an admin control manager where we can see who is destroyed by what, generally speaking. So if somebody like comes up here and destroys part of this entire Coliseum, they'll just be insta-banned. It's a pretty simple situation for us. This is really kind of just not working with me, is it? This pillar is not working with me at all. Here we go. Sometimes you just got to get the angle for stuff. Go craft one real quick. Boop. Is that placed correctly? No. It looked like it was just because that stupid old stone pillar that was in the way. There's actually a gold airdrop up here. I don't think I can get those yet. I might be able to, actually. No, I don't think so. I'm only 50-something. But yeah, let me know if you have any ideas in the comment section down below for the Coliseum. Let me know your excitement or your frustrations with something that I'm doing. I know these pillars on the outside are unnecessary, but it's all for looks. And if the Coliseum doesn't look cool, how are we supposed to have good thumbnails? You know, how are we supposed to have good thumbnails for these Coliseum videos? Thumbnails are everything when it comes to videos. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and grab these. Whoa. We have too many pillars on us. These little ceilings. Here we go. This Pteranodon really doesn't like it. There we go, that's better. And the plan is to pretty much do twice as much as this. Probably more than twice. I kind of want to go straight to that mountain over there and then cut to the right. But that's pretty fucking massive. But the massiver, the better. We also need, like, dinosaur ramps on both sides. I think I'm going to have to recruit help for this in the next episode that I build. Because it's going to be rather large. And if I have people placing pillars and stuff for me, while I put down the ceilings, you have like a pillar man, you have a ceiling man. The job might be a little bit easier. But now that we're just going to cut inland more, because we don't really need to go straight out that way anymore. And now that we have this outer edge kind of done, maybe I should just begin doing the pillars how everybody does their pillars. Really gapped apart and easy. And we can go back and place the pillars how I just showed them. But I'd rather get progress done now, right? This is so much faster. Now I just go right up there with Blue Junior with a bunch of ceilings. We build out farther. There we go. Pillars and ceilings. I think next time I'm actually going to bring the Quetzal all the way over here. I'm also probably going to log off over here, but I'll build a little hut for myself for safety. There we go. And then we put pillars right on those parts that jut out. We should probably just Ridertron it on the whole way, make it easy for ourselves instead of having to whistle to him and hope that he comes down. But yeah, all my building episodes are pretty much going to consist of this. And the issue with that is, I would say, is that I'm not going to get my town done anytime soon. I'll probably begin building my town after this is done. Because this is just kind of like a brainchild right now. And once my brain is set on something, I tend to do it as quickly as possible. This is so much easier not doing that whole strip of pillars. Maybe I'll just not do that. I can do it at the end for looks sake, but if it's all going to be walled in anyway, now that I think of it, it was pretty useless of me to do that. But you know, you live, you learn, you forget, you know? And I learned that that pillar system is just kind of a waste of time. Also doesn't look that great, but you know, it is what it is. Maybe that'll be I'll put a sign on that as like you know how like always when they build a school or something crazy like that, they're like, this is where the first shovel hit the ground when building this monument of a building. I know when I was in school, in high school, we actually got a grant. Not really a grant, I think it was just like money from the state or the federal government or something to get like this $27 million renovation. I was going to say reservation, but that doesn't make sense. Renovation. And we had like this whole thing where they're going outside, look, this is the shovel that did it all, and they like framed it, and they like took pictures with the press and shit once the old businessman in the suit came out and literally just like touched some random pile of dirt, had completely irrelevant, and the building had already begun. It like marked the beginning of the building, but the building had already begun. And just this guy in a suit just came out. He just like slapped a shovel in a pile of dirt and smiled to the camera, and then just like handed off the shovel to like 4 other people who also shoved the shovel in the dirt and smiled to the camera. And I was just like, this is such a cringe fest. Like, why are we getting out of last period to watch a bunch of old people that have a ton of money just throw their shovel into the dirt? And then like some of them were like the superintendent and the principal, but like there's a few in there that I was like, I don't know who these people are, but clearly they're important in this town. And like, you can't even call my town a city. Like, my graduating class was, server lag. My graduating class was 175 students, 176, I think. I was 5th tallest. And that goes to show I was 6'5", and I was 5th tallest. So, actually needs ceilings, not pillars. But it's just kind of funny. Maybe we could do something like that. Where like me and my brother go up with like a pickaxe or something and smack a pile of fucking dirt as the grand opening. That'd be so goofy. Oh, sometimes I make myself chuckle. There we go. This foundation, honestly, all things considered, on Ritz's server, I think most of this stuff, like when I built that castle, is that not touching the ground? It must be floating. Remember to repair that. What I'm saying is the castle that I built probably is going to consist of the amount of stone that this is going to take to build. But that castle took me like, I don't even know, 2 months worth of gathering total. Like every day I got on probably for an hour to gather for like 2 months. So that's like 60 hours to complete it. And I don't think I ever like fully completed it. Also had some help. People were like dropping off stone and stuff outside my base, like fully built pillars and everything already. So thank you guys for stopping by today's episode. Sorry, I just kind of talked and built. I guess that's kind of what I used to do back in the day anyway. Leave some comments down below. I'll try to reply to some of them as the video first goes out if I'm not busy. Generally, I will read your comment, and a lot of the times, if you didn't know about the little bell icon in the top right corner of your YouTube page, that gives you notifications on when somebody interacts with something that you've done on YouTube or Google+. And generally, if I read your comment, but there's really nothing I can say about it, I usually leave a like on your comment. So look out for that bell little icon to flash, because sometimes I just leave a like if it's just like, hey, in a great video. Sometimes I say thanks. Other times they'll just leave a little like thing. So just keep that in mind when you're like, oh, let's read comments. It's like sometimes I don't read them, but like most of the time I read like the first hour's worth. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the episode. The Coliseum has begun. Let's get a little, like an overarching, you know, thumbnail picture that's going to show off the scale of this build thus far. And it's probably going to be about 4 times the size that you're seeing right now. We're going to try to make it as much as a square as possible. Reason why we want it to be an uneven number, I would say, is because the gates are 3 wide. And if we do Behemoth, I think they're like 6 wide. So I'm not really sure. It'll be even. It will look nice. And if not, it'll be functional. Or sometimes I say feng shuiical. That could be part of it as well. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, and adios.